The Pacific Northwest Matthew Knight Arena for Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price as California takes on the fired up number 23 Oregon Ducks in a pivotal Pac-12 showdown. Oregon first place in the Pac-12 conference, trying to stay atop of the league by themselves. Arizona nipping at their heels. UCLA, Arizona State, and Cal all in the mix right near the top of the Pac-12. Along with the most outstanding player from the 1997 Final Four, Miles Simon. Roxy Mercy with you. As many of you know, it's been a turbulent week around the California basketball program, overshadowing how well they're playing. They've won 5 of their last 6. Oregon has won 3 straight. A big game out here in the Pac-12 tonight.
Yeah, big-time atmosphere, big-time game for both teams. Oregon really is finding their way without their point guard, Dominic Artis, winning their last 3 in a row. And then the Cal Bears are the hottest team in the league. They've won 5 of their last 6, and they're getting contributions from other guys right now, Roxy, especially their post players.
Let's take a look at the starting 5 for the Cal Bears as they come in here with a record of 16-9. Justin Cobbs, Tyrone Wallace, Allen Craft, the Pac-12's leading scorer. Richard Solomon, David Kravish, the starting 5. For Oregon, the 23rd ranked Ducks at 21-5. Jonathan Lloyd filling in for the freshman Dominic Artis at the point. Damian Dodson, leading scorer of freshman at the off guard. Arsalan Kazemi, the Rice transfer, playing very well. E.J. Singler, the all-time wins leader in Oregon history, and Tony Woods, the senior center for the Ducks. The Oregon pit crew, they're ready to roll as we approach tip-off. Traveling navy blue for California. Going with the gray here at home tonight, Oregon, the plethora of choices the Ducks have with their uniforms. Richard Solomon wins the opening tip for California, and the Golden Bears have the ball first.
And Roxy, this team is really led by Justin Cobbs and Allen Craft, the highest scoring duo in the Pac-12 at 34.5 points per game. But Richard Solomon, David Kravish in their sweep of the LA schools last weekend. Solomon, 15.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, off to a great start right there on the first layup.
So Richard Solomon gets the bucket. He led Cal in scoring the first time around these two teams met. Cal scored the final 10 points of the game about 3 weeks ago in Berkeley, and California escaped with a 4-point win at Haas Pavilion. In fact, Cal has beaten Oregon 10 straight times coming into tonight. And a loose ball run down by Justin Cobbs and Cal. Backdoor pass for Tyrone Wallace, 4-0 Golden Bears.
And a great start here for Cal, getting 2 layups, getting that ball inside of the painted area. Beautiful backdoor, Solomon to Wallace.
All deflected out, it stays with Oregon. And it's been a long week for California head coach Mike Montgomery in his 5th year in Berkeley. 651 career wins, 34 of them coming against Oregon for Mike Montgomery.
And this is the only team in the Pac-12 that Dana Altman has not beaten.
Loose ball run down by E.J. Singler. The freshman Damian Dotson missing a 3. Loose ball, run down Justin Cobbs. Cal looks to push. Pull up. And the rebound secured by Oregon.
As you watch Oregon on the offensive end, they're going to spread it out, 4 out, 1 in. Tony Woods operating from the block area to the high post.
Here's Woods forced out. Like Mike Montgomery, it's been a rough week for Tony Woods, the Oregon center.
And here you see Oregon getting into their patented spread offense with Tony Woods screening the high post area, multiple cutters going to the basket.
And Cal claims the defensive rebound. Over 2 minutes and Oregon has not scored. But Tony Woods was ejected from Oregon's last game, an overtime win in Pullman against Washington State last Saturday for a flagrant 2 foul against Brock Modem of Washington State, and the Ducks look out of whack and a turnover right back to California. Dana Altman trying to get his team in sync right now.
And turnovers have been the biggest problem, not having Dominic Artis, their point guard who averages 10 points per game, not in the lineup, one of their best 3-point shooters. In a 3-game stretch, when they lost, they had 65 turnovers as a team. They've calmed that number down as of late. Jonathan Lloyd with the air on the last possession.
Allen Crabbe can't convert inside. Here come the Ducks. Oregon 0 for 5 from the field and have turned it over twice already.
So the two guys they really like to count on the offensive end is E.J. Singler, who's taken over the scoring lead for this team, and Damian Dotson, one of the best freshmen, number 21 there for the Oregon Ducks.
A block shot by Richard Solomon, and a double dribble called on Justin Cobbs. Some indecisiveness there in the open floor. There is Dominic Artis, the freshman who's now missed the last 8 games. And really is the catalyst for this Oregon team.
He is. He's the freshman from Finlay Prep High School, originally from Oakland, California, but he's came in, he just solidified himself as one of the best players. He's a former UCLA commit, but he has great size, he has an excellent feel for the game. And in conference, before he got injured, he was shooting 50% from the three-point line.
Here's Cobbs driving to the basket. 6-0 California.
Roxy, and this has been one of the biggest changes that Cal and Coach Mike Montgomery have implemented in the last few weeks, starting with the ASU game, going to more of a dribble drive offense. Mike Montgomery, normally a set call type of coach, but allowing the freedom for Cobbs, Wallace, and Crabbe to create for themselves, driving at, dribble handoffs, and getting to the basket.
Damian Dotson gets Oregon on the scoreboard. Does that play into the offense and the talents that this California team has and benefit them?
Well, Crabbe is a guy who was a catch and shoot his first 2 years, has really developed more of an off-the-dribble game this offseason, and this year doing a better job of getting into the paint. And Wallace, not really a shooter, more of a dribble penetrator also.
Foul against California and a couple of free throws for Damian Dotson of the Oregon Ducks. Cal off to a good start on the road here in the Northwest, leading to first place, Ducks.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by T. Rowe Price. Understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence. And in part by Lexus and the RXF Sport. It's What's Next from Lexus. And Wendy's, proud sponsor of the 2013 John R. Wooden Men's Player of the Year Award.
Max Bretos with a studio update in Hartford. UConn and Cincinnati. Shabazz Napier had just 2 points for the Huskies in their loss to Villanova. A different story tonight. He has 25. Let's go back to Roxy and Miles.
6-2, California leads 23rd ranked Oregon. Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price, and this is the impact that Oregon has felt in the absence of Dominic Artis.
Well, they've really regrouped now. We see the 4-3 without. They started that 1-3. They've won 3 in a row now, and Oregon really has a chance now to get a little bit of a cushion in this league race. They're in first place by 1 game, but the teams that are directly behind them, they have beaten all of them and don't have to play them again. They can run the table and win the conference outright as long as they handle their business.
Damian Dotson missing from the line, a 77% foul shooter on the season. The freshman from Houston. Cal foul against Tyrone Wallace.
Roxy, and as many good freshmen as there are in the conference, we know about the UCLA guys, the Arizona guys, Tyrone Wallace for Cal. Damian Dotson is having an excellent year. He comes from Yates High School in Houston, Texas, but he's athletic, he can score the ball. Been an instant impact.
Richard Solomon missing inside. And the rebound cleared Arsalan Kazemi. Here come the Ducks. Waverly Austin is in the game for Oregon, a 6'11 junior, the JC transfer. Oregon started the conference with 7 straight wins. They were 7-0, and then since Dominic Artis' injury, they've tried to keep the ship all straight ahead. And there from the baseline, Carlos Emery hits the shot.
And Emery picking up right where he left off against Washington State on the road last weekend, where he had a career-high 20 points, where they really had to make up for a lot. We talked about Tony Woods being ejected, playing without Dominic Artis, and Emery taking advantage in the post area.
5 straight points for Oregon. Richard Solomon goes baseline. Missing. Kazemi clears for the Ducks. Oregon looking for their first lead.
Boyd is a guy who's done a great job of running this team. doing a better job of taking care of the basketball, but he's a non-shooter out there, not much of a threat. You see Cobbs playing 6 feet off of him right now, daring Jonathan Lloyd to take perimeter jumpers.
Carlos Emery has a clean look. Arsalan Kazemi keeps it alive for the Ducks.
Kazemi, one of the best rebounders in all of college basketball, had 45 double-doubles in his career at Rice, has 6 of them here as an Oregon Duck.
Already has 6 rebounds, and a foul will put Kazemi at the free throw line.
Kazemi, the senior, originally from the country of Iran. We've covered Oregon a couple times this year. He's one of the hardest playing guys in the country, and there you see the hard drive, getting the contact, going up strong. He's a very good athlete, deceptive, but very strong physically, especially on the upper body.
100th career start tonight for Kazemi between Rice and Oregon. 70% free throw shooter. And Oregon has tied up the ball game. One more shot coming.
And there's been 2 transfers from Rice that are making an impact in the Pac-12 this year. Omar Arabi down at USC, putting up some decent numbers for Bob Cantu and the Trojans. Imagine that's a great front line that was in conference previously in Conference USA.
Kazemi gives Oregon their first lead. 7 straight points for the Ducks.
Now here you see a Dana Altman staple. He's a master at switching up his defenses, trying to keep teams off balance. He'll mix in some full court pressure, 3-quarter pressure, trap a little bit, and then man-to-man and zone in the half court.
Brandon Smith in the game for Cal, a 6-foot senior from San Ramon, California. Also in is a former walk-on 6'10" Robert Thurman. Alan Crabb fouled on the drive by Jonathan Lloyd, his first.
Lloyd is a pesky defender, and he does what a smaller guy is supposed to do. He's 5'8". He didn't give Alan Crabb space to where Alan Crabb could shoot over him, and Alan Crabb tried to put it on the floor and drew the hand check.
If Oregon's going to defend Lloyd on Crabb, Miles, what can California counter with to take advantage of Crabb being at 6'6" as David Kravish hits the shot?
Well, they can try to run him into the post area, especially the long post where Crabb can take advantage of the 10-inch height advantage he would have over Jonathan Lloyd in the half court.
Jonathan Lloyd along the baseline. Carlos Emery, fade away. Oregon goes back in front.
And I really like what Jonathan Lloyd did right there, the junior from Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas. He probed the defense, waited for a cutter to come off, and delivered it perfectly to Carlos Emery.
Each team has won 3 straight coming into this matchup in Eugene tonight. Robert Thurman tied up by Jonathan Lloyd, alternating possession points to Oregon.
And here we see at the other end, Jonathan Lloyd just probing the defense, gets to the baseline. Not much of a threat to score, but then David Kravish runs into Jonathan Lloyd, a little bit lazy. He's standing up on the defensive end, and Carlos Emery makes him pay.
Tony Woods back in the game for Oregon, and Ben Carter in for the first time, a 6'8" freshman from Las Vegas. Emery bumped by Alan Crabb, and the first foul against the Cal junior.
Carlos Emery much more comfortable inside of the arc, even though he shoots it well at home from beyond the 3. But you see his last couple of possessions where he touched the basketball inside of the paint area, a long post up against Tyrone Wallace, and they're taking Crabb to about 15 to 17 feet.
Carlos Emery, a clean look, rattles it in. Emery has 7, Oregon by 4.
And as I just talked about, Emery, 39% three-point shooter at home, but overall only 30% on the season.
12-2 run for Oregon after Cal scored the first 6 of the game. Justin Cobbs missing inside. Emery again. missing the three. David Kravish with the rebound for California. Justin Cobbs drives. Stripped by Jonathan Lloyd. Oregon steals it. In the lane, Tony Woods. 6-point lead, Oregon, timeout Cal. Oregon, 14-2 run, they're up 6.
And the Oregon Ducks creating offense with their defense. A great steal by Jonathan Lloyd. Then he probes, crosses the court, and you love to see the big fella, Tony Woods, running with his point guard, sprinting full speed, getting ahead of the defense, and with the monster jam, excellent job of two-man game in transition, Jonathan Lloyd to Tony Woods.
Full court pressure from Oregon. Alan Crabb, long on a three. Tony Woods with the rebound for the Ducks. Carlos Emery missing inside. Robert Thurman clears. Cal's only scored 2 points in the last 5.5 minutes after they jumped on Oregon 6-0 to start this one.
Love to see that ball passed inside to Richard Solomon on the post-up against the freshman Ben Carter. Solomon been extremely effective lately in the post.
5 on the shot clock. Brandon Smith drives a lane. Has his shot blocked by Ben Carter. DJ Singler. And a hand check called against Alan Crabb. Second foul on Alan Crabb. And speaking of Crabb, controversy this week around the Cal program. Was Cal head coach Mike Montgomery, did he cross the line? We'll tell you straight ahead. Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. Alan Crabb just picked up his second personal foul. Cal down 14-8, but earlier this week, let's flash back to Sunday night at Haas Pavilion. And Cal taking on USC. This took place early in the second half between Cal head coach Mike Montgomery and the Pac-12's leading scorer, his star player Alan Crabb. And some frustration right there after an exchange and contact from Mike Montgomery to Alan Crabb. And Alan Crabb addressed the media this week, talked about the situation. Here's what he had to say. I'm over this. Me and my coach have settled everything. These questions can stop. People may look at this as the wrong way to fire up a player. I didn't take anything negative out of this situation. Now, Mike Montgomery also issuing a statement after the game Sunday night, said there's no excuse. I know better. There's nothing that makes it right. I was wrong. Let me ask you, Miles, about that situation. What was your initial reaction when you saw it?
My initial reaction was that Coach Montgomery was out of line in this case. You cannot put your hands on one of these student athletes. He pushed Alan Crabb. He knows that he was wrong, and it was completely out of character for Mike Montgomery to do that, and he apologized. And the team, Alan Crabb, Coach Montgomery, Alan's parents have really, truly moved on from this and are ready to proceed with the rest of their season.
California needs to move on with some scoring here as Oregon has opened up an 8-point lead.
And here's where Cal falls into the danger zone right now. Justin Cobbs, another turnover here by Cal. But Alan Crabb went to the bench with 2 fouls right now, and he's the leading scorer in the Pac-12. So where's the offense going to come from? Can Solomon and Kravish get some touches in the paint and continue their excellent play?
So Alan Crabb scoreless, comes in averaging just under 20 points a game and picking up his second foul. Now, can Cal put it behind him, do you think, or is it easier said than done?
No, I think they can put it behind him, and they have put it behind him. When we talked to Coach Mike Montgomery earlier today, he said the team was together and focused during practice all week. Even after the game, they were excited about beating USC. And Alan Crabb, he really handled it with his parents. He said, I'm fine with it. Coach and I are tight. And he even told his parents, I can handle myself, Mom. I'm 21 years old. And
Richard Solomon the rebound.
And Coach and I are good. Throw it inside to him. Richard Solomon has the freshman Ben Carter on his back. You got to give him a touch.
Here he is, turnaround by Solomon. There's an air ball long. E.J. Singler claims it. Oregon pushes.
Solomon needs to be more aggressive, not just settle for the turnaround, face up, or try to back down and get within 4 or 5 feet of the basket.
16-2 run for Oregon. Tony Woods. And the rebound, Cal, and Justin Cobbs comes darting out of the pack. Foul going up by Willie Moore, his first. That is Cheryl Price, the mother of Alan Crabb. And it's not uncommon to see here on the road. She makes every game to support her son.
And I love to see that from parents. We were on the flight today from Portland here into Eugene. She was on the plane with us, and we got a chance to chat her up a little bit. And I really praised her for coming to every game. I remember my father came to probably 90% of my college games, and that's home and road. And it means a lot to these young men to always see a familiar face in the crowd, in the stands. I remember when my dad was coming, or any of my family members, I always wanted to find them where they were sitting before the tip came. So praise to her for always following her son around and being that support system for him.
Pac-12's leading free throw shooter missing the second. 1 out of 2. And Alan Crabb back in the game now with his 2 fouls, guarding E.J. Singler.
And that's a lot of trust that Mike Montgomery has in his junior Alan Crabb, that he can play smart enough to not pick up a third here with 8 minutes and change left in the first half. Look at E.J. Singler doing a job of denying, forcing Alan Crabb to the back door.
Fade away. Crabb missing, and the rebound, Arsalan Kazemi for the Ducks. 8 rebounds already for Kazemi. Dotson drives, gets the floater.
Dotson really took advantage of a very poor closeout by the freshman from Bakersfield, Tyrone Wallace. Completely came out of his stance, opened up the middle, and Damian Dotson made him pay.
Richard Solomon.
And he needs to face up and attack.
Justin Cobbs, the tough pull-up. Gets the bounce off the heel of the rim.
Justin Cobbs.
Cobbs has 5 of Cal's 11. Damian Dotson off the mark. Rebound, David Kravish and Cal. And a carry in the open floor. The second turnover by Justin Cobbs in transition.
And Damian Dotson, one of the best freshmen in the Pac-12, not getting enough love, but takes advantage of a poor closeout with the sweet floater. Oregon up midway through the first.
Oregon leading it by 7 here at home over Cal. To the top teams in the West, highlight NBA Friday on ESPN. At 8, Minnesota travels to Oklahoma City. Then at 10:30, the Spurs look to keep it rolling as they face Golden State. NBA Friday presented by State Farm. Coverage tips off with Kia. NBA Countdown at 7:30 and also live on Watch ESPN.
The Spurs just seem to be able to do it again and again, year in and year out. Ginobili, Parker, Duncan, those guys just seem ageless. But an upstart Golden State Warriors team had an all-star in David Lee. Steph Curry maybe should have been an all-star, and one of the best shooters in the game in Klay Thompson.
So they're taking 6 seconds off the clock as the officials, Michael Irving on the left, Jim Giron on the right. There was a timing error when they were examining over the scorer's table during the timeout. As the two of them working with Tony Padilla, who just entered the picture, veteran Pac-12 officiating crew. Oregon by 7, and Miles, Cal jumped on them 6-0, but then the Ducks have come roaring back. And Oregon 18 to 5 runs since. What has changed over the last few minutes?
Well, defensively, Oregon has really settled down. If you go back to the first matchup, Cal scored 25 points in transition off of 22 turnovers by the Oregon Ducks. Dana Altman was very comfortable and happy with his half-court defense against Cal in Berkeley. And right now they've settled down, taking Cal out of transition and making them work in the half-court.
12th-ranked Arizona, half game behind Oregon as the Wildcats an impressive win last night at home in Tucson. It's snowy. Tucson, Arizona, believe it or not, against the Washington Huskies.
Yeah, and I've been monitoring all those pictures that people have been putting on Facebook and Twitter, and unbelievable snowstorm. Canceled the match play yesterday down in Marana. But the advantage that Oregon has when you look at the standings is that UCLA, Arizona, and Arizona State, all teams that they have beaten, and they don't have to play again.
Let me ask you, your time in Arizona, as a player, as a coach, did you ever see snow in Tucson?
I did, actually. As a coach, some snow hit. It didn't really stick, but snow did hit. It's a rarity. I mean, it has to make up for the 115-degree summers that you get. I mean, let us get one day of snow out there.
It's a California ball. Initially, they said it was a turnover on Cal, but then they overruled the call during the timeout, so Cal gets the ball back. David Kravish inside. Brandon Smith missing a 3 in the rebound. Arsalan Kazemi already 9 rebounds.
And see, that was designed right there. When that ball went inside the post to Kravish, Jonathan Lloyd goes and digs down in the post, forcing the kick out right away to really a non-score. And Brandon Smith, that's something that Dana Altman will live with.
Waverly Austin stripped by Brandon Smith. A reach-in foul against Cal. And Brandon Smith whistled for his first.
Number 12, Brandon Smith, his first.
4th team foul, rather 5th team foul on Cal. And it goes out of bounds, and Oregon with the giveaway right off the inbound. As E.J. Singler stumbling. And again, turnovers a bit of an issue in the absence of Dominic Artis.
Yeah, not so much tonight. That's only their 3rd turnover of this first half. They've been doing a much better job of taking care of the basketball during this three-game winning streak. But Dominic Artis, he handles a lot of those problems really well because of his high basketball IQ, and they're hoping to get him back very soon.
Arsalan Kazemi spins, swatted, fouled by David Kravish.
Beautiful play, and that's some of the versatility that you don't see out of a 4-man. And some of that comes with international play. Arsalan Kazemi, as we spoke of earlier, is from Iran. Big men in the international play, usually a little bit more skilled, more adept at handling the basketball. And there you see he was very comfortable, very fluid in all his movements, going coast to coast and drawing a foul.
3 of 3 at the line. Oregon by 8. Carlos Emery returns for the Ducks. A lineup of Lloyd, Damian Dotson, Emery, Kazemi, and Waverly Austin. Justin Cobbs returns for Cal out there with Brandon Smith, Alan Crabb, David Kravish, and Richard Solomon.
Now, Cal's going to really need to find an answer on this offensive end. Alan Crabb, the leading scorer in the Pac-12, 16th in the nation. 0 for 2 from the field right now. They're making all his catches tough, and he's not getting any open looks.
David Kravish missing the open look. Rebound number 11 for Arsalan Kazemi. We still have 6 minutes remaining in the first half.
And Jonathan Lloyd pulling up a little bit lame there as he tried to jump stop. But it looks like he's able to just walk it off.
Nice pass. Jonathan Lloyd to Waverly Austin.
Lloyd's really found himself a comfort zone. Look, he has a little bit of swagger, a little bit of shake to himself right now on the defensive end. He's contributing in other ways besides scoring. Already has 3 steals in the first half, along with 4 assists.
Alan Crabb, fouled, spins out. He'll get 2 free throws.
And as we watch this replay, let's freeze it right here. Nice job of drawing the two defenders, delivering the quick pass, the line drive, on point, on target to Waverly Austin for the slam.
Crabbe an 81% foul shooter. Spins out. Bak checks in for the first time for California, 6'9" senior from the Sudan.
Roxy, and this is really the most improved part of Allen Crabbe's game. If you watched Allen Crabbe play his first 2 years in the Pac-12, he was more known as a catch-and-shoot guy, didn't want to put it on the floor, maybe a straight-line driver, but he's getting to the foul line much more often this year, putting up a ton more free throws, being on attack mode.
Allen switching to his zone this possession defensively. Waverly Austin missing inside. Here comes Justin Cobbs. Pull up. Richard Solomon the offensive rebound. And a foul against Oregon as Cobbs trying to find Richard Solomon in the corner.
Carlos Emery is first. 14. DJ Sigler back in the Oregon lineup. For Waverly Austin.
Carlos Emery called for his first foul. And that's the 4th team foul against Oregon. Ducks leading it by 10. Richard Solomon is fouled by Arsalan Kazemi. First against Kazemi. ESPN's coverage of college basketball continues Saturday at 4. NC State squares off against Tobacco Road rival North Carolina. Then at 9, Missouri rolls into Rupp Arena for an SEC showdown against Kentucky. The Saturday showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN.
Roxy, Richard Solomon, as of late, is really playing more up to the potential of when this Cal staff recruited him to come out of Price High School, being much more aggressive in the painted area. He tended to float around the perimeter to the 15, 17-foot mark a little bit too much, and then you see on that last play, he shot some jumpers early in this first half, but there gave a beautiful drop step, was able to draw the contact and get himself to the line.
Cal within 8 now. Damian Dotson to the basket. The tip no good from Arsalan Kazemi. Here come the Golden Bears. Bak with the jumper, missing from the elbow. And Oregon claims the defensive rebound. Jonathan Lloyd steps into a 3. And Brandon Smith with the rebound for Cal.
And Dane Altman not very happy with that shot because Jonathan Lloyd got baited into it. He's so wide open because teams have scouted him. He hasn't shot it well from the 3 this year. And now Allen Crabbe makes him pay on the other end of the floor and has a little bit of words for Damian Dotson.
So a 30-second timeout taken by Oregon. And the Golden Bears down 11 and trimmed it to 5. And Allen Crabbe finally gets free for a clean look.
Yeah, he had an open look. Too much airspace between him and the defender there. But it all started with the Jonathan Lloyd 3 on the other end. He brought it down, probed the defense. But a nice job of just backstepping there against the overplay. And then Allen Crabbe with a couple of words for the freshman Damian Dotson. Beautiful stroke that Allen Crabbe has. Look at the lift on the shot. He's 6'6". Beautiful follow through, an excellent rotation. One of the best shooters in college basketball.
Back-to-back Pac-12 Player of the Week honors for Allen Crabbe. When the Bears stunned the Arizona Wildcats in Tucson, he pumped in 31 points. And then he's coming off a performance last Sunday night. All the attention on the exchange between Mike Montgomery and Allen Crabbe, but he had 23 points, 10 rebounds, and a career-best 6 steals against the Trojans.
And after the incident, he played his best basketball. after the 16:30 mark, put up 14 points, 7 boards, and 5 steals. So he actually got pumped up, was more into the game after the incident with Mike Montgomery.
If Mike Montgomery's going to leave Allen Crabbe on the floor with his 2 fouls, if you're Dana Altman, Miles, do you attack and try to get Crabbe's third?
Well, you do, but that's where the college game really differs from the NBA game. There's really not the mindset to ISO guys too much in the college game and try to exploit weaknesses or mismatches or foul trouble as there is in the NBA game.
E.J. Singler missing a 3.
Dana Altman has a system. They run the spread offense. They have 20 to 25 sets out of it. So they don't really just going to isolate Allen Crabbe just because he has 2 fouls.
Clean look for Brandon Smith. Arsalan Kazemi rebound again. 13 rebounds already for the transfer from Rice. E.J. Singler is yet to get on the scoreboard. 0 of 4 from the floor for the Oregon senior. And a whistle off the ball and a foul called against Cal. Brandon Smith whistled for his second. The Oregon Ducks at home. 23rd ranked team in the country, up 5 on Cal. All right, Max, a couple of teams that hope to pass the eye test in Selection Sunday out west. Number 23, Oregon, up 5 on Cal, and E.J. Singler going to the line. The latest edition of Joe Lunardi's bracketology, six Pac-12 teams in after only 2 got in a season ago.
Yeah, and I think right now Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, UCLA are pretty much going to be locks. They have great RPIs, obviously excellent records. Colorado only 17-8, but some good wins mixed in there. Cal and Arizona State, they just need to win. Handle their business. They have chances in front of them, especially Cal here on the road tonight to really solidify themselves. You can put themselves in a comfortable position ending the season here. Cal had chances to get some big wins earlier in the year. They lost at Wisconsin by 25, lost to UNLV and Creighton and Harvard at home. That really hurt their non-conference record, obviously. But they've made up for it. They're one of the hottest teams in the league, winning 5 of their last 6, and this could be a big one tonight.
E.J. Singler hits both ends of the 1-and-1. Oregon now in front by 7. Backdoor pass. Allen Crabbe drops it off, and a slam from Richard Solomon.
And that was a setup out of the timeout. They brought everyone to the high post there. And they cleared it out because Allen Crabbe has been being overplayed most of the game. Set up a beautiful backdoor and Crabbe with the unselfish play.
Tyrone Wallace the steal. Dishes. Allen Crabbe lays it in transition.
Excellent job of converting defense to offense. Cal getting out in transition, and Allen Crabbe one of the best at finishing.
9-2 run for the Golden Bears here. And a steal from Allen Crabbe as he took it away from E.J. Singler, then lost the ball out of bounds, and it goes back to the Ducks.
And here they get the steal. Tyrone Wallace, he has long arms. He's 6'4", from Bakersfield, has his head up, and maybe even a little bit of contact that Allen Crabbe was able to go through on Arsalan Kazemi.
Final 90 seconds of the first half here in Eugene. E.J. Singler cut off on the baseline. The ball deflected by Richard Solomon, and it hit the stanchion. It goes out of bounds to Oregon. Arsalan Kazemi, 13 rebounds already in this game, and a foul in the post against Richard Solomon of Cal, his second. And Tony Woods will go to the line for a 1-and-1.
And Solomon should not be upset. That was the right call. He went over the back of Tony Woods there. That was a no-brainer. Easy call by the official.
So Woods at the line, a 69% free throw shooter. Originally started his collegiate career at Wake Forest. No good. And the rebound, Solomon and Cal. Justin Cobbs gives it away to Kazemi. 3-on-1 for Oregon. Alley-oop lob, Kazemi!
Great pass by E.J. Singler. Kazemi does an excellent job of continuing to run the floor. Throws it up perfectly with the slam over the top of Justin Cobbs.
Electrifies the crowd here at Matthew Knight Arena. Arsalan Kazemi, rebound number 14. Goes coast to coast. Has a shot blocked by David Kravitz. Oregon can pull it out for the last shot if they choose. And it appears they will.
Dana Altman is stomping the floor to get his team's attention there to make sure they just get one shot.
Final 10 seconds of the half. E.J. Singler way out there for three. Wave it off. Offensive goaltending against Carlos Emery. Both Jim Duran and Michael Irving come in to wave it off. No basket appeared it was going in if Emery left it alone.
Yeah, and I think he was going to get the soft shooter's home roll there by Singler because he had the great backspin, the excellent rotation, which was going to allow for a soft finish to that shot. And Carlos Emery should have just left that one alone as we see E.J. Singler about to launch up the deep three.
So E.J. Singler's shot there at the end of the half from well beyond the three-point line. He's a good 8 feet out. And the shot appeared to be headed right back through the cylinder when Carlos Emery touched it when it was on the cylinder. So here's a look at that last sequence.
E.J. Singler about 27, 28 feet out, and then Carlos Emery coming from the baseline. Clearly the ball over the cylinder. If you're a team, if you're Carlos Emery in that situation, let it go, give it a chance to go in for the three-point opportunity.
Halftime score number 23, Oregon leads California 26-21. Now let's go to Max Bretos and Fran Fraschilla with the Land Rover halftime report.
Here's Fran Fraschilla. I am Max Bretos, and you're watching Oregon-Cal. Huge game for the Golden Bears. Oregon looking to improve their status as well, and they're trying to improve their backcourt without Dominic Artis. Doing much better here tonight.
Well, you know what? Damian Dotson has been a great surprise this year for Oregon. Young man from Houston, Texas, who has been in a slump. It coincided with 3 straight losses. He's been back. Jonathan Lloyd's holding the fort down. Take a look at Damian Dotson. Houston Yates High School, great program. He's been in double figures all 3 of the last 3 wins. And again, a guy that not a lot of people knew about coming into the Pac-12. Really nice surprise. And then Jonathan Lloyd, he's been a spark plug off the bench. He's playing too many minutes right now. They need Dominic Artis back, the terrific freshman from L.A. They were 18-2 with him. He's day-to-day. But you know what? They're developing depth as they get ready to head towards postseason. Good job by Dana Altman.
And not to bury the lead, but I know you're a big fan of the international game. Arsalan Kazemi with those 14 rebounds showing that they can ball in
the only Iranian youngster playing in college basketball right now. He's been huge, the Rice transfer.
Yes, and I think there's going to be a lot more the way they are going, as they certainly love the game.
Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. Ready for the start of the second half at Matthew Knight Arena, better known around Eugene as Matt Court, where the number 23 Oregon Ducks lead Cal by 5, 26-21. Wasn't necessarily the prettiest first half of play, but Oregon will take it.
Yeah, Oregon, they're hanging on by a string right now, but they really controlled the pace and the tempo, kept Cal out of transition for the most part, and then locked down on the defensive end.
Well, take us to what caught your eye in the first half of play here between Cal and Oregon.
Well, really, one of Oregon's goals is to deny the basketball to Allen Crabbe as best as possible. And one way to relieve pressure, we see right here, we get the Cal players outside of the key. Look at all that space on the backside to free up a backdoor. E.J. Singler in perfect denial position, but the backdoor now wide open because Cal spread the court. Excellent play on the back door, and then the drop-off Allen Crabbe to Richard Solomon. That's how you relieve pressure with backdoor action.
Allen Crabbe battled some foul difficulty in the first half. The Pac-12 leading scorer with 6 points. Arsalan Kazemi for Oregon, 14 rebounds in the first half.
And I think more important for Allen Crabbe and the Cal Bears is that he didn't pick up his 3rd foul, was able to maintain and stay on the floor with the 2 personals that he picked up early in the half.
Oregon's bench also outscoring Cal's 11-0. Pass inside. There's Alan Crabb off the get-go.
He's doing so many more things this year. He's not just a three-point shooter. He likes the contact. He's getting into the lane. He's putting the ball on the floor better. You'd love to see a young man's game grow from season to season.
Damian Dotson rattles it out. Richard Solomon clears for the Golden Bears. Justin Cobbs. Offensive rebound. Richard Solomon takes it away from Kazemi. Alan Crabb goes inside. David Kravish missing on the fadeaway, and the rebound, E.J. Singler for Oregon. Good look from Jonathan Lloyd. Rims out, offensive rebound, Tony Woods. And the big man dribbles it out to keep it alive.
Solomon has to be a little bit more physical and put a body on Tony Woods in that case. Solomon's been active on the offensive end, but here on the defensive end, they can't give him the second chance opportunities.
Here's Woods.
Woods loves the jump hook.
Kazemi with the dunk.
And because Tony Woods was physical and didn't fade away and got 2 feet in front of the rim there, he drew the other Bear defender and was able to drop it off to Kazemi.
Here's Alan Crabb. Hits the pull-up in the key.
That's sweet right there. The use of the down screen. He reads that E.J. Singler is trailing him on the curl, puts it on the floor, and stops and pops before the shot blocker can get there.
And a good sign for Cal, Miles. He's starting to get involved in the offense. Despite shooting only 29% from the field, Oregon leads it by 3. Singler inside. Shot changed by Richard Solomon.
Solomon got a piece of that. Excellent job of coming from the weak side and getting that basketball. Tony Woods. And that was pretty close, Roxy. Tony Woods, I thought maybe he got it before it got to the backboard there. But the officials had a different view. Cobbs with the little Euro step. And Tony Woods, that was a clean block. He got that basketball before it hit the backboard.
1 point lead for Oregon. The Ducks led by as many as 11 in the first half. Tight one here in Eugene. E.J. Singler draws contact, will go to the line.
Look at this. This is something that you have to practice right here, Roxy. E.J. Singler, he knows he's going to a crowd. Look how he wraps the basketball up so no one can strip it out of his hands. He's strong with it, and then when he's ready to shoot, he unwraps the basketball and then goes up to try to finish.
Third foul on Richard Solomon of Cal, and 2 free throws for Singler. And Singler's 104th consecutive start here tonight.
And Singler recently became the all-time wins leader in Oregon Duck history, 82 wins in his 4-year career. The senior from Medford, Oregon, South Medford High School. You know, a lot of people know his brother, Kyle Singler, who had a great career at Duke, playing in the NBA now for the Detroit Pistons. But E.J. has carved himself a beautiful niche here as an Oregon Duck.
With 3 fouls, Richard Solomon for Cal goes to the bench. Robert Thurman enters. Alan Crabb. That goes over the top of the backboard, hits the shot clock out of bounds to the Ducks. Oregon 15-1 here at home this year. Their only loss, we were here for it, Miles, a couple of weeks ago, a game that came right down to the wire against Colorado.
Well, they led the whole game there until the last 20 seconds when Colorado, their last possession, was able to get a lay-in to take a 1-point lead and come out of here with a victory.
That snapped the Ducks' 20-game home court winning streak. Nice pass inside from Cobbs to Robert Thurman.
And that's right, that was a beautiful pass by Justin Cobbs. Excellent execution on the high pick and roll action. Cobbs able to drag it out a little bit. The defender has to go with him, Tony Woods. Jonathan Lloyd, that's his rotation, but Jonathan Lloyd's only 5'8". He didn't want to step in the way of the bigger, more physical 6'10", 265 Robert Thurman there on the roll.
Robert Thurman trying to give Cal the lead, missing the free throw. And David Kravish fouls E.J. Singler going for the rebound. The second on the Cal sophomore. 29 all, 16-14 remaining. Second team foul on California here in the second half. And it's been a very physical game, as you would expect. Both these teams play extremely hard with a lot on the line tonight here in Eugene. Oregon, a half-game lead on Arizona, atop of the Pac-12. E.J. Singler, a clean look. And the rebound, Arsalan Kazemi. And one.
And this is one thing the Oregon Ducks will do to you. They'll pound you on the offensive glass. They get 12.5 offensive rebounds per game. Kazemi now with his 5th offensive rebound. The little step through the up fake is what draws the foul as Kravish went up and then comes down on top of Kazemi. And now his 6th double-double of his career. I'm sorry, 7th double-double as an Oregon Duck. 52nd for his career.
Missing the free throw, and Robert Thurman with the rebound. The foul against David Kravish of Cal, his 3rd personal. So both Cal starting bigs, 3 fouls. Here's Tyrone Wallace, the freshman, the reverse lay-in, and we're tied at 31.
Justin Cobbs is so crafty and smart. Veteran player, redshirt junior. When he came off that pick, he held the big man's legs so that he couldn't move his feet to stay in front of him, and then drops the dime to Tyrone Wallace. That move by Justin Cobbs.
Willie Moore, the freshman from Cincinnati, and a foul is called on the floor against California, and a hold. A tie game here early in the second half in Eugene. Both teams near the top of the Pac-12. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney is a season-long spotlight on games that will impact the tournament. Saturday night, 2 teams look to strengthen their resume as Wooden Award candidate Doug McDermott and the Great Blue Jays square off against Matthew Dellavedova and St. Mary's. The Ramada Worldwide Bracket Busters, Saturday at 6 on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN. How about that matchup? Matthew Dellavedova, Doug McDermott.
Well, I really think that St. Mary's, this is a game that is a must-win for them. They got swept by Gonzaga. They don't really have anything good out of the non-conference. Creighton, a team is, I think that is more than likely going to get into the NCAA tournament. I know they've struggled here in the month of February. But I also like the point guard matchup. Grant Gibbs, one of the more underrated guys in the country, a great assist maker, great playmaker for the Creighton Blue Jays.
Big game for the Gales on Saturday, but also a big game coming up next year on ESPN2 for St. Mary's as they host BYU in Moraga.
And remember, it took a Matthew Dellavedova running 40-footer to win in Provo.
Cal with a steal. Justin Cobbs gives it right back. Waverly Austin inside, missing, and David Kravish the rebound. And it's stripped, and Cal reclaims it. Golden Bears look for their first lead here since the early stages.
Cobb's really loose with the basketball tonight. 6 turnovers already out of their 7. And they're just a little bit of a miscommunication. The point guard, you have it in your hands. You got to get control of this team and control of that basketball.
Here is Cobbs, lost the ball again. He's having a rough time hanging onto the basketball. And a foul to drive. Damian Dotson is bumped.
And I don't know if I necessarily put that one on Justin Cobbs. A little bit of steam on that pass. And I'd like to see Tyrone Wallace and Justin Cobbs working it out, talking to each other on where that pass should be delivered and how hard it should have been made.
3rd foul on Allen Crabbe. Cal with 5 team fouls here in the second half.
Now they go zone, little 1-2-2. This is something the Ducks worked on.
Backdoor lob for Emery. Waverly Austin, the easy bucket.
My worry on the zone is when that lob went up, Alan Crabb was already standing at half court. You're 6'6", you're one of the best rebounders on this team, 5.5 rebounds per game. There were 3 Oregon Ducks around the basket and only 1 Cal Bear defender. That's a weakness of zone defenses. All 5 guys need to dig back and take responsibility for rebounding.
Now Carlos Emery just picked up his 3rd foul for Oregon.
We see the lob go up, and it's like Alan Crabb is already leaking out, and only Thurman is the only one in the painted area. Freshman in the first half and faded away.
That time it's stolen by Jonathan Lloyd and the Ducks. Lloyd. And Justin Cobbs the rebound. Cal with a 3-on-2. Richard Solomon from Justin Cobbs.
And Justin Cobbs delivered that pass right on time. Jonathan Lloyd had to play him, and then he delivered it right to the streaking Richard Solomon.
And a foul against Cal on the drive as Carlos Emery was grabbed. They called the foul on Crabb, but it did not appear to be Crabb who fouled him. It appeared to be Tyrone Wallace.
Woods back in for the Ducks.
As Alan Crabb looking in disbelief, saying it wasn't me. And Mike Montgomery trying to point out it's number 3, not number 23.
There's Alan Crabb right there. And that should definitely not have been on Alan Crabb.
The foul should be on Tyrone Wallace, number 3, and not number 23. The officials are discussing it right now. Jim Geron, Tony Padilla, Michael Irving getting together.
Alan Crabb was in the vicinity, but he made no play. He was not enough in the action or near the defender or near the offensive guy.
That is Alan Crabb's 4th personal foul, still with 13-15 now remaining. And E.J. Singler stumbles, and a foul against Brandon Smith of Cal. His 2nd. Let's take one more look at this last sequence to see if it was indeed Crabb who fouled.
And here's Alan, freeze it right here. Here's Alan Crabb. There's the drive. There's the hold by Tyrone Wallace. That's where the foul should have been called. And Alan Crabb, he only touched the basketball. And this could be a big momentum shift for the Cal Bears. Now you're taking out the leading scorer in the Pac-12, a guy who was getting into a little bit of a rhythm here in the second half. Let's mark that down. 33 all with a little over 13 minutes left in the game when Alan Crabb went out.
That has to severely change what Mike Montgomery tries to do now. Singler misses, rebound out of bounds. It stays with Oregon off of Richard Solomon.
Cal's been doing a poor job of blocking out all game long. The Oregon team is just much more aggressive to the offensive glass, keeping balls alive and getting second chance opportunities.
Oregon with the ball and a 1-point lead.
And Cal stays in the zone, 1-2-2 or 3-2 zone. Oregon needs to get into the gaps of the zone.
Singler, 3! His first field goal, and he gives Oregon a 4-point lead.
And a coach's pet peeve, Roxy, is a missed free throw blockout. Oregon didn't come up with it cleanly, but kept it alive, and it becomes a 4-point possession for the Ducks.
Tyrone Wallace, the floater, missing. And E.J. Singler comes away from the pack. Oregon looks to push. And Damian Dotson fires the ball into the second row, and Oregon gives it away. Got to keep your hands up over there off to our right.
Yeah, I think someone took that was a hard pass that they took in the second row of the stands there.
If you're going to sit close to the court, you have to be alert. Bach checks in for Cal. Lloyd and Dotson get a breather now for Oregon. Brandon Smith drives. Shot clock at 10. Robert Thurman with the sweeping hook, and he's fouled by Tony Woods, his first.
And Roxy, as much as we've talked about the Oregon Ducks missing one of their key components in Dominic Artis, Cal has a lack of depth problem also, and that's because the transfer from Missouri, Ricky Kreklo, who has a foot injury, has been out for a majority of the season. He's sitting there on the end of the end of the bench. They're right there in the sweatsuit. There's Ricky Kreklo. He's a guy who adds a lot of versatility to this team. He's a great outside shooter. He's 6'6", and he's arguably the toughest player on this team, but he's a guy that can fill in more than suitably if a guy's in foul trouble, especially on the perimeter. When I watched him play against University of Denver, one of the few games he got in this year, he added versatility where they went to essentially a 4-out, 1-in lineup.
He's only played in 5 games because of that right foot injury, which he hurt before the season started, then re-injured it warming up in the DirecTV Classic down in Anaheim before the first game of the tournament where Cal beat Drake. Shot clock at 5 for Singler. Step back, 3, missed it, and the rebound, Cal and Brandon Smith racing ahead. Justin Cobbs fouled on his way to the bucket.
And if the Oregon Ducks are going to want to hold serve on their home floor here, it's going to have to be a lot more of this guy, E.J. Singler, knocking it down from deep.
Thursday Night Showcase presented by T. Rowe Price from Matthew Knight Arena on the University of Oregon campus, where the 23rd ranked Ducks clinging to a 3-point lead over Cal. Oregon needs a win tonight to stay in sole possession of first place in the Pac-12. Currently a half a game up on the Arizona Wildcats, who won last night over Washington. If Cal knocks off Oregon tonight, then there's a tie for first in the Pac-12. But if Oregon can come away with the win, they'll be alone in first place, and the Ducks will have 4 conference games remaining to play. And they caught a break in the schedule this year. They made some friends in the schedule makers because Oregon only plays UCLA once and Arizona once.
And they handled their business against both of those teams, went down to Pauley Pavilion and beat a ranked UCLA team. Arizona came up here when they were still undefeated at number 3 in the nation, and they knocked off Arizona here.
This conversation, Tony Padilla talking with Dana Altman, I believe they're going to change that last foul. And it will go to Tyrone Wallace and not Allen Crabbe. So if that's the case, that's what Michael Irving just gave the indication. So they've taken a foul away from Allen Crabbe, who now has 3, and Tyrone Wallace also has 3 fouls. But that is a huge break for California.
Huge break, and you see as soon as that happened, Allen Crabbe has now gone to the scorer's table, and he's ready to check back in and try to pick up right where he left off.
And the officials give them credit.
And here we see the call. It's Tyrone Wallace. That's who the foul should have been called on. Allen Crabbe right here, number 23, gets all ball. But I love that the officials corrected themselves, but 2 minutes went off the clock. It was a tie game. I know it's only a 2-point game right now. But if Cal is to lose this game by 2 points, that's something that could have changed, obviously, the outcome, not only of this game, but maybe the conference.
We'll give the officials credit for correcting their call and getting it right and making sure they had the right player who the foul was on.
Absolutely.
Jonathan Lloyd missing. And Cal with the rebound. Justin Cobbs leaks out. Cobbs attacks, drops it off for Robert Thurman. Wave it off in a charge against the Cal center.
And here Justin Cobbs leading the break. Nobody really stops Justin Cobbs in this case. If nobody stops you, you just keep going to the basket. And here Jonathan Lloyd takes the charge, but he turned his shoulder at that last second, Roxy. I don't know, I think that should have been a block as he turned into Robert Thurman, didn't take it straight to his chest.
Hey, when I've got a guy at 6'10", 265, and I'm Jonathan Lloyd's size, I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting out of the way. Oregon by 2. Jonathan Lloyd darts inside. And Cal comes away with it. David Kravish for the Golden Bears. Cal pushes. Justin Cobbs ties the game.
Nice job by Justin Cobbs on the pull-up, the transition opportunity, the look ahead, getting to the 15-footer.
10:20 remaining. We're even at 37. Bears daring Jonathan Lloyd to take it.
And that's where they missed Dominic Artis. Dominic Artis is a 50% three-point shooter in conference, and the Bears continue to dare Jonathan Lloyd to burn him from the outside.
Alan Crabb rattles the three out. Here goes Carlos Emery off to the races. Pull up. And Cal with the rebound, and Alan Crabb on the defensive glass. Cal has beaten Oregon 10 straight times. And Mike Montgomery, for his career, 34-8 against Oregon. The most wins for Mike Montgomery against any team. For the lead, Justin Cobbs left it short. Arsalan Kazemi with his first rebound, believe it or not, in the second half. He now has 15.
Justin Cobbs needs to try to get to the rim, settling for a little bit too much. Contested two-point shot. Not a good look by the Bears.
E.J. Singler has his shot blocked by David Kravish. Kazemi knocks it free from Alan Crabb and runs it down. Terrific hustle by the senior for Oregon.
Kazemi does so many of the little things, the hustle plays that make a big difference at the end of ball games.
Kazemi has his shot blocked. Alan Crabb comes away with it.
They got a break opportunity if they can take it. Kazemi and Woods are trailing the play late.
Dana Altman screaming, thinking that Kazemi was fouled. Alan Crabb drives, misses. Tony Woods clears for the Ducks. 8.5 to play, still a tie game. And Dana Altman wants to talk things over. Timeout taken by Oregon. Crowd not happy. Cal hanging in there with number 23 Oregon here in Eugene, and the first place team in the conference in a tight one.
You see a place that's alive with purpose and passion. You see a place inspired by a long tradition of untraditional excellence. You see a place built by the people, for the people of California, the nation, and the world. What do you see? You see Berkeley.
Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price in a tie game. Alan Crabb, who initially was called for his fourth foul, but the officials corrected it during a timeout and took the foul away from Crabb, so he has 3 now. And Tyrone Wallace also with 3 after Cal asked the officials to take a look at it. And the officials going to the monitor to make sure they had it correct, and they did. That's a pivotal review in this game. Tony Woods inside, lost the ball, picked up by Dotson, and a travel. Oregon with a giveaway. And the ball goes back over to Cal. The Golden Bears looking to take the lead. Tie game. Number 23 Oregon in California here in the Northwest. Let's flash back. The Oregon Ducks had a 20-game home court winning streak on the line against Colorado right here a few weeks ago. Arsalan Kazemi with impressive offensive display right there. In fact, in this game, Miles, Oregon led just about the entire way.
Yeah, all the way till the end, till this final basket here. The ball caroms right back to Andre Robertson. And the Colorado Buffaloes able to sneak out of Matt Court with a 1-point victory.
Dana Altman's team trying to begin a new winning streak here. A critical home weekend for Oregon as they'll welcome Stanford here on Saturday. 15-1 here at home for first place Oregon. A half-game lead on the Arizona Wildcats atop the Pac-12.
And Roxy, during that break, we had official Tony Padilla come over to us and really explain the Alan Crabb call. That play is not reviewable. He started to replay it in his head. He reported the wrong number. He reported 23 instead of 3. Came to his senses, knew he had made the wrong call, changed it, and that's why Alan Crabb now only has 3 fouls instead of 4.
And here is Crabbe for the lead. Rattles out, and Oregon. Arsalan Kazemi, his 16th rebound of the game.
Creeping near his career high of 19.
He had 14 at halftime. Clean look for Dotson, long on a three. And the rebound, Justin Cobbs and Cal.
And see, that's what I like in the zone defense. Alan Crabbe digging back as the big fella blocked out, and he's the one that tipped that ball out, leading to the transition, the secondary opportunity for Justin Cobbs.
First lead for the Golden Bears since they were ahead 8-7. 7 minutes remaining, Cal leading it by 2. Damian Dotson ties the game at 39.
That's how you attack the gaps of the zone. He split the two top defenders of the Cal Bears and releases it from 7 or 8 feet with a soft touch.
Grinded out game here at Matthew Knight Arena. Alan Crabbe is fouled on his way to the bucket. First against Damian Dotson. Fourth team foul on Oregon. Here's Alan Crabbe, and he gives California the lead again.
Comes off that baseline screen there, and he gets his feet set so quickly that the defender, if you're a half second late, he's going to get it off with ease.
E.J. Singler has had a rough offensive night. Tony Woods fumbles the ball to Richard Solomon. Singler gets it right back. The follow by Damian Dotson.
Again, the offensive glass, second chance opportunities, 15 second chance opportunities, 15 second chance points, I should say, for the Oregon Ducks.
Justin Cobbs stripped by Jonathan Lloyd. Oregon looking for the lead. Five and a half minutes remain. Dotson has his three blocked by Tyrone Wallace, the freshman, against the freshman. And now Cal has it.
And the advantage for Tyrone Wallace, he's a lefty. Damian Dotson shooting that ball with his right hand. He's bringing it up straight to Tyrone Wallace's dominant hand.
Here's Crabbe pressured by Singler. And a foul against E.J. Singler, his second.
And here's Damian Dotson just being active, waiting for the play to happen. The steal, the fumble, E.J. Singler, and then Damian Dotson coming from nowhere. Throwing it down with a little bit of authority.
Sixth Oregon team foul, so the next one will put California into the bonus.
And Roxy, these are situations when I was a player would try to recognize this. The team was in, if we were going into the 1-and-1. And if I got the basketball, trying to be on attack mode.
Arsalan Kazemi is down. Jim Gerard made no call on the play, just stopped play as Tyrone Wallace was in the corner. And Arsalan Kazemi is clutching his face on the floor.
And Tyrone Wallace trying to clear space there. Rips through and catches him right on the nose. And they're going over to the monitor to review that. This probably could be a flagrant one call with contact above the shoulders on Tyrone Wallace to Arsalan Kazemi.
Tyrone Wallace, the Cal freshman, already with 3 fouls tonight. This would be his 4th if it is a flagrant one.
And Kazemi just playing tight pressure defense, trying to keep him in the corner. Wallace with the rip through and catches him flush in the nose.
And the senior from Iran, making his 100th career start tonight, now sitting up on the floor, and Tyrone Wallace explaining to the Cal coaches over there. As they are still The officials at the monitor, Michael Irving and Tony Padilla across the way. We're going to look at the monitor to see if this warrants a call. As of right now, there was no call that was made. And the officials just stopped play because of the injury to Kazemi. But let's see if they do call a foul here against Cal. And if it is a flagrant one against Tyrone Wallace, it would be his 4th personal foul here with 4:53 remaining. So if it is a flagrant one, is Kazemi walking over to the end of the Oregon bench. And it can be upgraded to a foul, even though there was no official foul called because of the review. And now the officials are bringing Mike Montgomery and Dana Altman in for a meeting. Michael Irving explaining what they have ruled here.
And this one's going to be a flagrant one, probably personal foul. Illegal contact with an elbow that occurs above the shoulders of an opponent when the elbows are not swung excessively. He was trying to make a rip-through action. I wouldn't say it was excessive contact in that case.
Let's take one last look at this in real time.
Here, just the pressure defense. Tyrone Wallace trying to create some space, get Kazemi off of him, but clearly catches him with his left elbow.
Ben Carter will check in for Kazemi. And it is a flagrant one called against Tyrone Wallace of Cal. His 4th personal.
Ben Carter will shoot the foul shot.
And Ben Carter, coming in, the freshman, an 88% foul shooter, to shoot the 2 shots here on the flagrant one. But Carter missing the first.
And this is not easy by any means to come into the game cold, even though you're a great foul shooter, and especially you don't have anyone around the lane.
Carter rattles the second one out, missing both. It will be an Oregon basketball now. So flagrant one foul against Tyrone Wallace of Cal gives him 4 personals. That's now 9 team fouls on California. But Ben Carter subbing in for Kazemi, who was caught with the Wallace elbow, misses both free throw attempts. Neither team shooting it all that well from the line tonight, but then again, neither team shooting it all that well from anywhere tonight in this one. 4:45 to go. Coming up next from St. Mary's, the Gales will host BYU in WCC action. After we are done here from Eugene. Down the zone. And Carter, the freshman underneath. And Wallace controls it, gets knocked down, loose ball. Oregon gets it again, and a foul on Justin Cobbs. First on Cobbs, and Oregon will get some free throws. ESPN College Basketball is available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at WatchESPN.com and with the Watch ESPN app. Carlos Emery shooting 2 here, a 72% free throw shooter.
Emery's been playing some of his best basketball here as of late, coming off the bench. He's been double figures in 5 of his last 7 games, including a career-high 20 versus Washington State last weekend.
And Emery gives Oregon the lead again, and he has 10. Arsalan Kazemi coming back for the Ducks. What is it about seniors this time of the year, Miles? They really seem to take their game up a few notches.
Well, you know that your career is winding down, and the games are few and far between, and you're trying to finish on a high note as best as you can.
Oregon by 2. First time around when Cal knocked off Oregon in Berkeley, Oregon went scoreless for the final 4 minutes. And Cal scored the final 10 points of the game to win it by 4. A 10 straight wins against the Ducks. It is the longest active streak for a Pac-12 team over another. Arsalan Kazemi steals it from Richard Solomon. Kazemi fouled by Solomon. Fourth on Richard Solomon. Oregon 3.5 minutes away from staying in sole possession of first place in the conference, up a bucket on Cal.
A presentation of college basketball is presented by T. Rowe Price. Understanding the connections of a complex global economy. Invest with confidence.
Max Bretos with the studio update. Perhaps the game with the most tournament implications on Thursday night in Philly. LaSalle and Temple. Relier, Hollis, Jefferson. 23 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists for the Owls. Only player in the country over the last 2 years to put up those numbers. It was huge. It gets the Owls into the last 4 in, according to Joe Lunardi. Now to the exciting conclusion in Eugene. Back out to Roxy and Miles.
Right now, Cal also a team that's one of the last 4 in by Joe Lunardi, Miles, and here is their resume.
Yeah, you see the schedule strength at 33, the RPI and BPI matching up at 53, but I think really out of the non-conference, they had a chance for some excellent wins. They had UNLV at home, Creighton at home. Losing both of those games, they went to Wisconsin and lost by 25. Wisconsin proving to be one of the better teams year in and year out, and especially this season in the Big Ten. But I think that's what really hurt them. But right now, they're catching fire, have some excellent wins down the stretch here against UCLA and Arizona.
A couple more teams that are right on the bubble coming up after we're done here in Eugene, and St. Mary's hosting BYU. Arsalan Kazemi, 4 of 5 at the line tonight. And he misses. 10 points, 16 rebounds for the senior, the transfer from Rice, who was not cleared until the season had already started. The NC2A finally cleared Arsalan Kazemi in the middle of November. Five straight for Oregon after Cal took a brief lead. Here is Crabbe. Drives. Lost the ball. Kazemi comes away with it.
The times that Damian Dotson has had Allen Crabbe defensive assignment, he's actually done an excellent job of moving his feet and playing defense without fouling for the most part.
Final 3 minutes here at Matthew Knight Arena. E.J. Singler into the key. Pass deflected. Run down by Jonathan Lloyd. Students counting down the shot clock. Singler. Missing the 3. Allen Crabbe the rebound for Cal. Cobbs inside. Robert Thurman lays it in. Mike Montgomery wants time. 30-second timeout. Cal within 1. 2.5 remaining at Matthew Knight Arena. Thursday night showcase presented by T. Rowe Price. Number 23 Oregon clinging to a 1-point lead. We had a feeling this one would go down the wire, and the way Oregon has been playing and their style as of late, in the absence of Dominic Artis, they've been grinding out games. They've really had to fight tooth and nail to come away with wins.
They have. They've been doing it more on the defensive end. Oregon's a team that averages 72 points a game, but as you can see, struggling to score the basketball. They don't shoot it well from the perimeter on the season, especially from behind the arc. But right now, down the stretch, I think it's got to be E.J. Singler or Carlos Embry. Even though Singler's 1 for 11 tonight, he's a guy that has gotten them to this point in the season being in first place.
Oregon just 27% from the floor, but Carlos Embry puts the Ducks up 3.
And Cal can try to take advantage right now. Arsalan Kazemi fell down.
And they do. Robert Thurman and 1 for the senior.
Carlos Embry and Arsalan Kazemi collided, and Kazemi is holding his left knee. He tried to hobble down the court, and same thing with Carlos Embry. And the Cal Bears were able to take advantage. Justin Cobbs recognizing, pushed it up the floor, and gets that basketball to Robert Thurman, who gets the and one opportunity off the drop-off.
Third foul on E.J. Singler, and Oregon wants to take a 30-second timeout as Kazemi hobbling over toward the bench. Carlos Emery has a little giddy up in his step as well.
And Carlos Emery made this quick move to the baseline against the zone defense and getting right to the basket. Too quick for Robert Thurman. Low man wins the battle. He got lower and quicker, and then the collision. It looked like knee-to-knee action between Emery and Arsalan Kazemi. Fortunate for the Cal Bears. For their sake, 2 players were down trailing the play, and Justin Cobbs recognized and found Robert Thurman for the lay-in.
ESPN's coverage of college basketball continues Saturday at 4. NC State squares off against Tobacco Road rival North Carolina. Then at 9, Missouri rolls into Rupp Arena for an SEC showdown against Kentucky. The Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN.
NC State still one of the most dangerous teams in the country, in my opinion, and Kentucky needs a big win at home against the Missouri Tigers.
Robert Thurman converts on the free throw for the three-point play, and we are tied with 2:06 remaining. Jonathan Lloyd, Damian Dotson, Carlos Emery, E.J. Singler, Arsalan Kazemi to 5 for Dana Altman here. And a kick by Alan Crabb. Both Tyrone Wallace and Richard Solomon of Cal playing with 4 personal fouls.
And I want to see Oregon get that basketball back into the high post. E.J. Singler is a triple threat from that area.
And a steal by Alan Crabb. 100 seconds remain. Here's Crabb. Drives. Floater. Rattles out. Offensive rebound. David Kravish, and it's taken away by Oregon. .13 steals for the Ducks tonight. Jonathan Lloyd missing a 3. The rebound, Arsalan Kazemi again. 18 rebounds for Kazemi now.
1 minute beginning, 1 minute.
He has been everywhere for the Ducks.
And he's been banged up and bruised. He's been on the floor. He's taken a shot to his nose, banged knees, but he still continues to battle and work.
Carlos Emery, 10 on the shot clock. Jonathan Lloyd. Damian Dotson now. Off-balance floater. Richard Solomon, the rebound for Cal. The Bears can play for the last shot and try to win it here in regulation.
And Mike Montgomery's going to call a timeout and get to the play that he wants to set up for this last second opportunity.
And he takes his full timeout. So the full timeout used by California. Cal still has 2:30s remaining. 26.3 seconds to go. Oregon has 2:30s and a full. Tie game here in Eugene. First place, Oregon. A half-game lead on Arizona. If Cal knocks off Oregon, we have a tie atop the Pac-12, but also a logjam that will have Oregon and Arizona tied. UCLA right behind them. Then you have Arizona State and Cal kind of hanging on the periphery of the race.
It's a deep league this year, Roxy, much improved from last season, where only 2 teams went to the NCAA tournament, and the conference champion, Washington, didn't even go. But right now, you want to see Mike Montgomery. I think you have to go to Alan Crabb. He's the leading scorer in the conference, 18.5 points per game, is feeling good. He's the first option, and then the second option, putting Justin Cobbs in a pick-and-roll situation and letting him try to get to the rim or dish off to a teammate.
Even with his turnovers tonight?
Even with his turnovers, he still made some excellent plays despite the turnovers. And Alan Crabb, he's been the guy here. This is the one that kind of got him started. Just ducks back off the overplay, knocks down the 3. There, Tyrone Wallace gets the steal. Crabb able to run in transition and finish. Beautiful cut to the backdoor to the basket, scoring over the top of the freshman Damian Dotson. And here, just a quick release off the little baseline screen. Excellent mid-range by Alan Crabb.
Cal guards, Crabbe and Cobbs, 12 points each. Now, if you're Dana Altman, are you trying to deny Crabbe and not let him get the ball at any point as he's taking the ball inbounds now?
Well, eventually they're going to try to get it in, and you see they put Brandon Smith in the basketball game, a little bit better shooter than Tyrone Wallace. But I think they're going to run Crabbe off the screen, try to let him create.
And the senior Brandon Smith. 10 seconds remain. Smith for Cobbs against Lloyd. Cobbs. 0.7 remaining, and Justin Cobbs with the bucket. It is over, and California has come up to Eugene and knocked off number 23 Oregon, and they have beaten the Ducks for the 11th straight time.
And what a big-time shot by Justin Cobbs. He had the confidence. Alan Crabbe was the first option off the pin down. He was denied. Excellent defense by the Oregon Ducks on Alan Crabbe, but then Justin Cobbs took his time. He gave a glance at the clock, knew that he wanted to get the last shot and maybe give his teammates time for an offensive rebound or a putback, but he ISOs on the wing. He has the size advantage over Jonathan Lloyd. Justin Cobbs being 6'3", Jonathan Lloyd only 5'8". Lloyd goes for the strip, allowing the open look from the mid-range. Justin Cobbs, the transfer from Minnesota, coming up in the clutch. Now the Cal Bears have won 6 of their last 7 and a huge road win.
And a tie atop the Pac-12 as Arizona's moved even with the Oregon Ducks. Once again, our final score, Cal 48, Oregon 46. For Miles Simon, our entire ESPN crew, I'm Roxy Bernstein. Coming up next on Thursday Night Showcase, presented by T. Rowe Price, BYU and St. Mary's in Morocco.